welcome to Sing for Your Supper. I'm Mara Norris, and today I'm going to be showing you how to eat in a very healthy way, but that tastes terrific. Before I get started, I have to pay homage to my grandmother and wear an apron. So first of all, I'm going to be cutting up some zucchini, summer squash, onion to put into our dish today, which is a pulled chicken burrito. And I'm going to get started. Just cut the summer squash in half, and then you're just going to cut big slices. I'm cutting mushrooms now. You're just going to cut the very tips of the mushroom stems off, just because they can be a little bit woody. And then just big slices, just like you cut the zucchini and summer squash. Mushrooms just add a little bit more of that meaty texture and that meaty flavor. So again, you're not having to add steak to the burrito to make it taste meaty. Alright, just put that in your bowl. And next we're going to chop up the onion for two different components of the dish. So we're going to do them both at the same time, just to save time.
What kind of onion is that?
This is just a Spanish yellow onion. It's a nice, robust flavor. So we're just going to cut everything into strips. First of all, and we're going to put about 3/4 of that into our vegetable mix, and then we're going to chop the last little bit into small dice. This is going to go in the chicken. And now I'm going to make my Mexican spice mix. If you don't have everything on hand, you can just get one of those little Mexican spice packets, but I often have bulk spices, which I find to be much cheaper to buy, so I like to just make my own. So we've got about 1/3 cup of chili powder, got 1/4 cup of garlic powder. Actually, I like granulated garlic. Have a teaspoon each of cumin, chipotle powder, and pepper. If you don't have any chipotle powder, I know that's kind of a specialty item, you could use canned chipotle to put in with the chicken, or you can just omit it. It just adds that nice smoky flavor. Just add all those in. And then my handy dandy pepper grinder, which is far too big for anyone, but I love it. And this is when I wish I had an electric grinder. Hint, hint, honey, for Christmas. Okay, that looks about good. And about a tablespoon of salt. I just usually eyeball it. And then we have some oregano. I just like to crumble it up into there. This is another cheap way to buy spices, is the little bags that you find in the Mexican aisle. They're often much cheaper than you'll find in the regular spice aisle.
What's the difference between that and regular oregano?
It's just a different variety. Okay, I'm just going to whisk that all together. I like to give it just a little taste. See if it needs anything else, and it's actually really good. Sometimes I'll put onion powder in it, but I was out today. But you know what? I'm putting onions in the chicken anyway, so we didn't need it. So I've preheated my pans for both the chicken and the vegetables. And even though there's some salt and pepper in the spice mixture, I like to season the chicken as I'm cooking it. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little salt Little fresh pepper. And I'm going to spray my pan with some non-fat cooking spray. I actually find that this works better than using oil because it doesn't get crusty outside, which you would want for another dish, but for this dish it makes it very easy to pull the chicken. So I'm going to use the fat-free cooking spray. In this pan over here, I'm going to measure my oil. And I'm just going to put about a half a tablespoon of oil. This is olive oil. You can use canola oil. That's normally what I had on hand. And just add the vegetables and let those saute. I think this pan is hot enough, so I'm going to add the chicken. These are just little tenderloins, which makes it much faster to cook than a whole chicken breast. So it stays moist on the inside. Gives them a little bit of space in between so they can cook and not steam. Add a little bit more salt and a little bit more pepper on the other side. And I'm going to do the same for the vegetables while they're cooking. And another great trick I learned from my Aunt Beanie is always clean up whenever you can so you're not left with a big mess at the end. Just give the pan a good shake. Make sure that all the vegetables are getting cooked. And this chicken has been about 2 to 3 minutes. You can see on the edges they're getting white. So it looks like it's about time to turn them over. Just going to use a pair of tongs. Again, you don't need that crust on there because we're going to pull it apart and cook it some more.